It started with suspicion. Claire had always trusted Ethan, her husband, but lately, things felt off. He had grown distant, his late-night work excuses becoming more frequent. At first, she dismissed it. Stress, workload, perfectly reasonable explanations. But when she stumbled upon a text message late one night, her hands trembled as she read the words, "I can't wait to see you again." The sender's name was hidden behind a simple heart emoji. Claire's heart pounded. Was it a misunderstanding? A harmless message? Or was her worst fear about to be confirmed? She didn't react immediately. Instead, she observed, searching for clues in his behavior. He was more attentive to his phone, guarding it like a secret. The warmth in his touch had faded, replaced with an almost mechanical affection. One evening, while he was in the shower, she took his phone. Her fingers hesitated, knowing that what she was about to do could either confirm or shatter her world. She unlocked it, her heart drumming against her chest, and scrolled through the messages. There it was. A long, hidden conversation with someone saved under an innocent name. The messages were flirtatious, filled with memories of stolen moments, secret meetings. Claire's breath caught. This wasn't a simple flirtation. It was an affair. Her vision blurred. The betrayal was real. The man she had built a life with was living a lie. But who is this woman? Claire scrolled further, and then she froze. A picture. A familiar background. Her stomach twisted. The realization hit her like a storm. It wasn't just any woman. It was someone she knew. Someone close. Claire's hands trembled as she stared at the picture. The setting was unmistakable, her own home. The realization sent a shiver down her spine. This wasn't a stranger. This wasn't a random affair. It was someone who had been inside her house, someone who had smiled at her, shared meals with her. Then, the name appeared in the messages. Anna. Claire's breath hitched. Anna, her best friend. The woman she had confided in, the one who had given her advice about Ethan when she first noticed the distance. It all made sense now. The long hugs, the lingering glances, the way Anna always seemed to know just a little too much about Claire's relationship troubles. Rage surged through her veins, but she didn't act impulsively. She needed proof. Confronting Ethan without evidence would only lead to lies. So she planned. Over the next few days, she observed them closely, forcing herself to act normal. Every touch, every stolen glance between them became painfully obvious now. How had she been so blind? One evening, she set a trap. Ethan told her he was working late again. Claire nodded, pretending to believe him. But instead of staying home, she followed him. Her heart pounded with every turn, her grip tightening on the steering wheel. She already knew where he was going. When she arrived at the location, a quiet apartment complex on the other side of town, her worst fears were confirmed. His car was parked outside. She didn't need to go in to know what was happening. The betrayal was complete. Claire sat in her car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles turned white. She could feel the anger burning inside her, but mixed with it was something else, clarity. She wasn't going to be a victim. She wasn't going to cry and beg.
She was going to make them pay.
Claire didn't cry. She didn't storm in and scream. That would be too easy for them. Instead, she drove home, her mind racing with a plan. She wouldn't let them walk away unscathed. The next morning, she acted as if nothing had changed. She greeted Ethan with a kiss, made his coffee just the way he liked it. He smiled at her, completely unaware that she knew. It took everything in her not to recoil at his touch. She started gathering evidence. Screenshots of messages, pictures of Ethan's car at Anna's apartment, proof that would make it impossible for him to deny. But Claire didn't just want to confront them. She wanted to destroy them. First, she reached out to Anna's husband. She had always felt something was off in their marriage, but now she had the missing piece. When she met him for coffee, she showed him the messages. His face darkened with understanding. "You're sure about this?" he asked, gripping his cup so tightly it might shatter. Claire nodded. "I don't need to be sure. I have proof." They made a plan together. A plan that would expose Ethan and Anna in the most humiliating way possible. That weekend, Claire hosted a dinner party. She invited a small group of friends, including Anna and Ethan. Everything was set, the perfect trap. The night started normally, laughter and conversation filling the air. But as the evening went on, Claire slowly steered the conversation toward relationships, trust, and betrayal. She watched as Ethan shifted uncomfortably, as Anna avoided eye contact. Then, with calculated precision, Claire pulled out her phone and mirrored the messages onto the TV screen for everyone to see. The room fell silent. The evidence was undeniable. Gasps filled the air as their friends realized what they were looking at. Ethan turned pale. Anna's face twisted in horror. There was no escaping it now. Claire had exposed them both in front of everyone they knew. The betrayal was laid bare for the world to see. Ethan stammered, his face drained of color. Anna looked around, desperate for an escape, but there was none. The silence in the room was suffocating. Claire stood there, calm and composed, watching them unravel. "I trusted you," Claire said, her voice steady but sharp. "Both of you?" No one spoke. Their friends exchanged uneasy glances, shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Anna's husband, who had been waiting for this moment, finally stood up. He threw his wedding ring onto the table, the metallic clink echoing through the tense room. "It's over," he said coldly. Anna flinched, tears pooling in her eyes. But no one comforted her. No one defended her. Ethan tried to reach for Claire's hand, but she pulled away. His eyes pleaded with her, but she had already decided. "Don't," she warned. "You don't get to lie your way out of this." The humiliation was complete. Ethan and Anna had been exposed in front of everyone they knew. There was no way to deny it, no way to explain it away. The betrayal was undeniable. Claire didn't stay to watch them scramble for excuses. She had already packed her bags. She had already called a lawyer. She walked out of the house with her head held high, leaving Ethan to deal with the mess he had created. Anna's husband followed soon after, slamming the door behind him. The fallout would be brutal, but Claire didn't care. She had wasted enough time on lies. She deserved better. As she drove away, a sense of peace settled over her. The pain was still there, but so was the clarity. She had been betrayed, but she had taken back her power. And that, more than anything, was the perfect ending.